Howdy YouTube family, it is Bold CRNA coming to you with another week's topic. So this week I decided kind of randomly in the last couple weeks just to book a cruise. And I'm actually on a cruise outside of Catalina Island here off the coast of LA. And then we're going to do Ensenada tomorrow and then back to port. It's only a 4-day cruise, so it's not a very long one, but it was a really good deal and I just kind of had this instinct to go do it. So I said, what the heck, YOLO, let's go on a cruise. So the trick is none of my friends could come with me because it was last minute and everybody couldn't get off work and that kind of stuff. So I said, I'm gonna go by myself. So today we're gonna talk a little bit about what it is like to travel solo and cruise solo. Let's get into it. Okay, first and foremost, let me just say outright, because some of you guys may be thinking like, how on earth does somebody just have the ability to say, I'm gonna go on a cruise or I'm gonna go on some vacation and just do it because I want to last minute and no planning and no saving up for it or whatever. One, let's just recognize that there's a great level of privilege here. I admit that this is an amazing privilege and I am super grateful for the lifestyle I have and the ability to do things like this. I know not everyone can do that. If you've got kids and you've got a bunch of other responsibilities or maybe just a lot of bills and financial hardships, then booking a cruise last minute a couple weeks in advance because you feel like going is not realistic. But this channel is about me and my anesthesia journey, and sometimes I talk about anesthesia topics, sometimes it's about just my lifestyle and what's going on with me and how that is, and so this is just the reality of what my life is right now. For those of you guys who have been around a long time, you know that this has not been my reality for a long time. For 10, 12 years I struggled and I saved and I didn't go on trips and I studied and I saved money and did all those things so that when I'm in my 30s now, I'm able to do those things. But I do want to recognize that it is a level of privilege that not everyone has. So now let's talk about, so if you're going to travel solo, especially like specifically a cruise, because that's what I'm on right now, what's the vibes when you're traveling solo on a cruise? The first thing a lot of people would say is, oh, well, won't you be lonely? I'm not really lonely. I'm the type of person that I can go out somewhere by myself. I can go eat in a restaurant by myself if I want to. I can go to the movies by myself. I actually like spending a decent amount of time by myself. Some people seem to be surprised by that when they hear that I don't like to be in big groups of people all the time, or that I consider myself kind of introvert, because I do spend a lot of time on social media. I talk to a camera, of course. I'm on Instagram a lot. And when I am with people, I'm very talkative, I'm very energetic, and I usually am the type of person that you would think is an extrovert. But I need a lot of introvert time so that I can be that extrovert in those moments. So for me, dream to be able to come on to something like this and not have to be involved with a bunch of communication and a lot of people talking to me.
Welcome guests holding the tender ticket numbers 24 and 25. Please proceed.
So they're calling tender tickets over to the island. They're tendering us over to the island. So I have to go to that in a little bit. But as I was saying, it's kind of nice, the idea of me being able to show up somewhere and not have to communicate. I don't have to interact with people if I don't feel like it. I can eat dinner, go to the gym, lay out by the pool, whatever I want, listen to audiobooks and podcasts, and just kind of focus on me and everything I want to do and not worry about anybody else. And so there's an element to that I really enjoy and I need from time to time, and this type of trip really gives you that ability to do that. And so far on the cruise, the general clientele is a lot of families, and that's going to change depending on what type of cruise ship you're on, the sailing times and stuff. Right now it seems to be a lot of families and a lot of older couples. I think that's a pretty general idea for most cruises, that you're going to see that type of clientele. And that's cool. I like those types of people. They're fun. I actually was sitting at breakfast this morning, and a lady probably in her 60s was sitting next to me, and she just started striking up a conversation, and we had like an hour-long conversation about all kinds of stuff. And you know, I really just vibe with the older generation and their sensibilities, especially high energy ones who like to strike up conversations with strangers. That's those kind of people. That's my people. I enjoy that. and I relate a lot to that. So now I'm going to show you guys some clips and show you kind of what the cruise ship looks like and what I'm doing on the cruise. But one common thing that I love about cruising that a lot of you guys may like too is the all-you-can-eat food. The food, now I will say, when I was younger, the food I thought when I was like 24 and younger, when I used to go on cruises all the time, I thought the food was awesome, like pretty high premium, amazing. Now at 34 and who's experienced a lot of like Michelin star restaurants, a lot of higher end dining restaurants, the food quality here on the cruise ship, now I'm seeing what people always say about, oh, cruise ship food's crappy. I don't want to say it's crappy, but it's definitely budget food. It's not high-end dining, it's not very fancy food, and I would say the buffet food is almost not edible in my opinion now. If you're younger and maybe you have a different taste, back in the day, I remember I used to really love the buffet food, but the buffet food now to me seems like a worse version of McDonald's. So I'd say I don't recommend the buffet food. I am going to show you guys some clips from the dining room, so some of the meals that I ate, and the presentation is very nice. Sometimes the food doesn't taste that great in the dining room. Sometimes it's a little dry. Obviously they're mass producing, you know, enough chicken for 1,000 people or something. So when you do that, when you mass produce those kinds of entrees, there's just no way the quality is going to be, you know, very good, but it's as good as could be expected, and I enjoy it. So I would say, you know, and if you don't like something, send it back, which I've done before. If they put down something on the plate and I said, hey, this is actually quite dry and this is really, you know, poorly salted or something like that, in that case I'll say I would just rather have this other dish instead, and I send it back. So don't think that you can't do that, you definitely can. So yeah, the food, the social interaction, like I mentioned, you can interact with people as much as you want. You can go to the gym and hang out and talk to people. I can always find somebody to talk to if I feel like talking to somebody. The wait staff and the people who clean the rooms and stuff, they learn your names, they chat with you, they interact with you, so that kind of gives you a cool sense of a little bit of a community here. And yeah, I haven't really felt lonely or like it wasn't a fun cruise. I feel like this is an amazing idea. I feel like more people should show up, and they even have a get-together on the cruise ship called like Singles Mingle or whatever, where people who are traveling solo can meet up and hang out together. I didn't go and do any of that kind of stuff because it's just a 4-day cruise and I'm not really looking to meet a bunch of new people and stuff. If I happen to meet people, that's cool, but I'm not like going out of my way to like meet new people. In fact, I've had some people reach out and like try and strike up conversations, and a couple of girls like make conversations with me, and funnily enough, I would have thought that I would have jumped on the opportunity, and I thought coming on this cruise, like maybe if the romance strikes and that may be something exciting, but I actually find that I'm not interested. And I find that I really would rather just focus on myself and not get entangled with anything else like that. And just kind of put my AirPods back in my ear and start listening to my audio. Cruising by yourself solo, a lot of fun. I think a lot of you guys out there, especially people my age, you know, a lot of people my age are, you know, not married, or maybe you are married and you like to do things on your own and stuff, very independent. I think there's a lot of people who like the idea of traveling solo and doing things by yourself, but think that maybe it wouldn't be fun, or maybe it would be lonely, or have this idea that you have to have someone with you all the time, and you don't. You can definitely go out, live life, have fun, do what you want to do, make your life your own, and enjoy every day. Never let other people keep you down and keep you feeling like you can't do something because someone else isn't available or someone else can't afford it or something like that. Go do it, enjoy it. You are more than enough on your own. And that is it on my inspirational talk on traveling solo cruising. I'm going to show you some clips now, and until next time, that's Bolt out. So this is the room tour. I just got the cheapest thing you get, the inside stateroom. I just came home, I wanted you guys to see the little towel art these guys do. Monkey hanging. But it's pretty nice. They push 2 twin beds together. You can separate it if you want, or put it together like I have it. And you've got a little seating area here, and your mirror. And you've got like a desk area right here, closet right there, and then the TV that pulls out there. So it's pretty simple, but it does the trick. Here's an example of what they kind of serve. The menu changes every night, but you pretty much get a starter, you get a main, and you get dessert. And the real cheat here is you can actually order multiples of whatever you want. So if you want 2 entrees, 2 desserts, which I definitely do 2 desserts, you can cruise life. I went with the cheese plate for my appetizer. And then of course they always bring some bread too. And for the main, it's called Coke au Fee. Actually, I don't think I got that right. Something Canadian. It's chicken essentially and mashed potatoes. Let's check it out and see how good it is. All right, awkward angle, but it is in the butter tray, so we make do. Now, let's cut into it and see how tender it is. Don't make fun of my weird cutting style, because that's all I got. It's kind of like a red wine, like almost a bacony flavor. Chicken's just a little bit dry, but not bad. Let's try the mashed potatoes now. Solid. It's hard to mess up mashed potatoes. Butter, potato, salt. Good. And for dessert, there comes the orange souffle and the apple blossom tart, paired with some decaf coffee because it is 8 o'clock already. Let's dig in. Cool helmet and my e-bike here. Just out patrolling Catalina Island. Most people out here have golf carts, but like, see, I'll show you. See? Most folks are riding around on golf carts, but I am out here trying to get a little exercise in, a little leg day. Look at that deer over there. Yeah, there's lots of wild animals, bison, I think, out here. But the roads are kind of designed for golf carts and bikes. Pretty much everyone can ride on these roads out here. And it's a lot of uphill. It's a lot of up and down and up and down. So if you're gonna do a good leg day, get you a bike out here. I got the e-bike so that if it gets too intense going uphill, I recommend getting an e-bike actually, because a real bike, you would really be doing a leg day on some of this uphill incline. It's just uphill, downhill, uphill, 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 then downhill, then uphill. So yeah, e-bike, even with an e-bike, a couple hours out here patrolling the island, whew. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'll show you guys some clips too of kind of like Avalon, a little town area, but a lot of it out here is just open space on this little island on Catalina. It's really well preserved. There's zip lining out here. You can do like stand-up paddleboarding and snorkeling and stuff, but I'm just gonna do this e-bike and then head back to the ship. Just another little note for you guys. When you're coming down these big hills, your bike starts kind of accelerating at like 20 miles an hour because of the speed and velocity or whatever. And then you'll come across these curves in the road and you just got to be careful, because if you don't catch it right, you go over the edge. But it's a pretty edge to go over, at least. It's like a little beach resort over here. And then out, let's see if we can see the cruise ship. Oh yeah, there's the cruise ship out there. So this is the sports court, as they call it. It's got the big water slides here, which I rode. They're a blast. And then this is the rock climbing wall, which I climbed. It doesn't seem that high, but when you realize how you're at like the 14th deck on the top of this ship, and you get up there and you're looking around, it's pretty darn high. So it's a good little leg workout too. So the water slides actually wind all over the boat. You climb way up there. You see those people up at the top for the loading. And this bigger, thicker yellow one here is actually a water coaster. So it's actually got water like projecting you on a float, and it actually takes you off the edge of the boat. And it has a clear portion so you can kind of see yourself. So So that's the clear part I was telling you guys about, where you kind of sail over the edge of the boat and it's clear and you can see the ground or the water beneath you down there. And then this right here is usually turned on, but it's not on right now for some reason, the flow rider. It's essentially like that water thing that comes up this, and they give you a boogie board or a surfboard, and you surf and do lessons and stuff right here, and then everybody kind of sits around and watches you. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, this is the sports court area. It's a blast. Well, this is the last night of the cruise. We're sailing away from Ensenada now. Pretty, huh? This overall was an awesome idea. And for any of you guys wondering, hey, I want to go on a cruise or I want to do some kind of trip, but you don't have somebody that goes with you, or maybe your friends are canceled or something like that, don't sweat it. Just go do it. Life is awesome. Go experience it.